my screen there. I have some slides over data science career path. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so before I start, something about me. I am Shivam. I am a lead trainer for machine learning and artificial intelligence here at Intellipaat. Now, over more than 12 years of my career into AI, data sciences, and machine learning. That's my portfolio. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And what about this session, right? Okay, thank you guys. What about this session? This session is going to help you understand that what is the current ecosystem of data science inside the market, and what is required to be a data scientist. And once you become a data scientist, how your life is going to look like. So it's like the end point that you want to become a data scientist, but how, what, and when is what we are going to cover through this particular session, right? You all are very much I'll encourage you, if you have any questions, right, do not hesitate, just type it in the question box, and I'll check it as I'll reply to it as quick as possible. But yeah, the chat is open to me and I can see your questions already there. So I'll start my thing by saying that how many of you think that data science or machine learning or AI or ML, whatever you call, right, multiple synonyms to say, and we'll talk about this later, that all these words are different and people just use them in exchange, but they have different meanings and different targets are there for each thing. So let me give my introduction completely, right, and then I think my journey, because I'm not a computer science graduate. People think that somebody who is a computer science graduate can only understand the machine learning ecosystem or the artificial intelligence ecosystem, but that's not true. I am myself a non computer science graduate, and I started my journey as a ERP consultant. Now, any one of you have heard of SAP or Microsoft Dynamics AX? You might have heard this term called as SAP, right? It's a tool. It's a ERP tool, Enterprise Resource Planning. So I'll explain you in very simple terms. So these Fortune 500 companies are there. These Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 15 countries, these are companies which are like super big, who are operating in, let's say, more than 120 countries. They have so many warehouses, they have so many, your production stores and all these things, right? They have to manage everything at a central location. So how do they do this? They do this using a tool called as ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Through this thing, they control everything: their manufacturing, their sales order, their purchase order, what will come in, what will go out, what is their employee records, and everything is there. Everything is there inside this ERP system. So I was a ERP system consultant there. I was helping my clients understand basic things about industries, that what is the most profitable product in which geography, what is the most demanding product. So there are two types of products, right, which the people love, so they'll have more in consumption, but it is not necessary that they might be the most profitable products. So these kinds of certain things I was helping my company to understand. And later we realized that everything is dependent on data. Every decision that you will take is based on how your historical things have happened for you, right? And slowly I started, let's say, working on the data analysis part. So I'll explain you my journey, what I did there as a ERP consultant there. I'll just open up a whiteboard on the screen and I'll just help you. I was helping my clients to understand these basic questions, right? You might think that these are some very basic questions, right? That what is the most profitable product? What is the most, let's say, market heavy demand product, right? Or what is the least consumable product but most marginable product? So these kinds of things, right? Because based on these, the companies, they decide their next level strategies, their next product strategies, right? Product market strategies that they define for them. So these are the things which I was doing there. I learned a lot of data sciences there, and I then switched back. I joined a US based rail logistics company where I did a different kind of thing. So in my first company, I was working more around numbers, more around numerical data. I was revolving there. Then I joined this logistics company it is US's largest railroad logistics. It means they help your stuff to be transported from one location A to location B. Now this stuff that you are transporting can be anything, your local logistics, or it can be a cargo of a big company, or it might be iron ores, or let's say chemicals also that were be transported. So they had a very peculiar use case. I'll share it with you, and I think this might interest you also. This is United States. If I draw somewhat like this kind of thing, right? Don't go with the exact thing. And on the above top, you have Canada, and here you have Alaska here, which is coming out, right? So in Alaska, there's a lot of natural resources which are there, and there are multiple iron ores which are starting here in this particular part of area. There are some iron ores, there are some petrochemical plants which are there. They have some rigs there from which they took all this material, and the train would leave all these details, and it would land up in Texas over here. Now this path is super big, right? I'm talking about a huge path that we are traveling. Now in US, everything happens with a standard procedure. So what was the standard procedure? That because you're carrying so much of toxic and so much of, let's say, flammable content, you need to make sure that you're carrying it in a very secure way. So there were 8 major stations at which the train would stop, and they would manually inspect this thing. Correct? Simple procedure. 8 stops between Alaska, from where the iron ore is there, till Texas. There are 8 stores, and at every stop the train would stop there. There will be manually a person who would go to every wagon of the car, and he would inspect that thing. He or she would inspect that particular train. Now in a particular train, you can expect, let's say, somewhere around 40 to 50, let's say, cars or wagons. You can call them cars, or sometimes they're called wagons also. And there are multiple types of wagons, right? There are, flat cars which carry flat amount of things. There are, let's say, tank cars which carry your flammable content, right? Petrol, diesels and gases there, right? And then you have Golconda cars. There are 17 major different types of cars, or let's say wagons, which are there, on which you can carry the desired product, right? The desired product can be carried out there. So again, coming back to the story, let's say you are the one who is responsible for, let's say, bringing this content from place A to place B, and there are 8 stations. They're stopping. There will be a manual person who will go to each and every, let's say, each and every car. Let's say this is a tank car which I'm proposing, let's say, which I'm making here. And let's say, what is the tank car? A tank car is a cylindrical shape, and on the top they have a open vase there, right? From which you can, let's say, see what is the content inside it. And you can close and open it also there. So let's say if I ask you what are the defects that can happen, you might say that the lid should be closed, it should be tightly closed, right? It should be locked. There is a nozzle here which should be also closed, right? It should be always plugged in. So there are multiple things there. There are around 17 to 18 types of defects that can happen in one, let's say, one particular, let's say, wagon there. Now you all might be thinking that this is such a non-data sciencey thing, right? Where is data science there? How are we solving the problem? I think you have still not understood the problem. The problem is it takes almost 40 minutes for a person to manually inspect the whole train. So it means we are wasting around 40 into 8 minutes for every train journey from A to B. This much amount of minutes are being wasted there. Now you might think again that this is not a big amount, right? I mean, 50, this is what, right? 320 minutes is not a huge amount. No, it is, because there is only one track, and there are so many trains which are, standing in a queue to go here. And we are talking about a Fortune 50 company who has to process the product as quick as possible and then send it to the desired position. Now the trains cannot move until the first train has reached the destination B, and it has onboarded that destination B, until and unless the next train cannot be released. So this is a bottleneck for the company. They were saying that they're producing with such a high rate, but this all goes in vain because the transportation is not there. The correct transportation is not there. It is not happening there. So how can data scientists help us? So they called us and they said that this is the problem. Now you guys figure out that how can we, let's say, find a way so that we can, let's say, reduce this time. 40 into 8 minutes, if we can reduce this thing. What we did a very simple thing there. I'll explain it to you. I'll just remove this drawing there. Just Okay, I'll just make this up a big one and I'll tell you what we did there. So this is the track, let's say the train track all of you might have seen. This is the kind of a train track that you have, and on that you'll see these kinds of stones which are kept, right? So what we did is, my friend, we installed a oval kind of a, let's say, shaped thing on the track, on top of track. This is actually I've drawn it in a different way, but this is, let's say, on the above of the track, and the train is going to pass below it, right? So just think of it that above the track, if you see the front view, it is going to look like somewhat like this. This is the let's say that oval thing which I'm telling you about, and the train is going to come from this area, right? It has to pass through this area here. And what is this circular thing having? It has 8, let's say, mounted cameras over here. 8 high speed action cameras are mounted over here, and when you connect, whenever a train passes, we take the images of this train. What happens when you take this image, right? There are two things which happen. First of all, you identify what kind of a wagon is it. Is it a flat car? Is it a Golconda car? Is it a tank car? What kind of a car it is? Identify the car. And the second model is that once you have identified the model of the car, the second thing is identify the defects. What is the defect inside that particular car? Right? What is the problem inside that car? You need to find that out. That is the second thing. What would happen with this case? Let's say if a train is passing, all these 8 high-speed action cameras would take the image, click, 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 send it to the system that what kind of a car it is. Let's say it's a tank car. Tank car, identify if it has a defect, yes or no, it will tell you. And the station master, in less than 2 minutes, above it was 40 minutes, now in less than 2 minutes, the station master on his iPad or on her iPad has the report in front of you that this car, let's say, had let's say this train had, let's say, around 47, let's say, cars or wagons, right? And all of them were defectless, all of them are passed. The station master can approve this thing on the iPad, and the train driver would know that, okay, he or she does not need to stop on the station and can move without stopping. Your 40 minutes are now saved and only 2 minutes are used. But you might say to me that, Shivam, this is the best case condition, right? Because there was no defect. But let's say if there is a defect, let's say. So what is going to happen? The station master will know that, okay, the 17th car has the defect. Let's say the 17th car has the defect. So the station master would send that manual person, and that manual person will only inspect the 17th car thoroughly. That's it. The manual inspection will not be done on all the 47 cars. It will be done only on the 17th wagon or the 17th car over there. That's it. So even in a worst case scenario, you can think of it, let's say that 40 minutes have now been reduced to 8 minutes. Right? This is the first full-blown project that I did there. Right now, this project, why did I let's say talk to you about this particular project? Because I just wanted to tell you that, see, data science is not just about, let's say, a thing about talking about numbers only, right? So in my earlier job, I was talking with numbers, numericals. In this particular job, I was talking about images, right? I was working with images purely. The system is going to give me the images, and I'm going to run some complex deep learning algorithms to identify the car and the defect, right? So the point here that I want to focus is that it is up to you, somebody who is practicing the data science. It is up to you that do you like to run numbers, or do you like to run images or videos? This thing can stretch up a lot, right? This thing is not just limited to numbers, but numbers is called as structured data in our data science, structured data. And there is something called as unstructured data also, which includes images, videos, right? Speech data, and then it is text. These are called as cognitive data also. You might hear this term called as unstructured data or cognitive data for these domains of data there, right? So it is up to somebody who is practicing data science. It is up to them that what do they want to do. They want to go with numbers, they want to stay there, or they want to come up to a high end level and work for images also. Does it mean that crunching with number is a low end job and it is a less paying job? No, it's not that. It is not the thing that images is going to pay you high, or images are going to, let's say, or videos are going to, let's say, pay you more. No, it is not like that. The point is that for images, videos, and speeches and text, we have different methodologies, different algorithms, and to tackle the numericals we have different algorithms, and different algorithms have different prerequisites. The level of mathematics that you need to study, or the level of, let's say, courses that you need to extra do, that thing changes, right? That is the next point. So it is not about your end job, it is about how you start your journey. So I started very basic. I started with my data analytics career. Slowly I took interest in images and deep learning, and now in AI, right? So that's the point about data science. That's why I focused on that. The second point that I want to very heavily focus here is that data science is different from your day-to-day software job, writing coding job. It is not like your coding job where you have learned something and you're going to apply this thing for the rest of your life. No. Data science, I'll give you some simple examples. One of my friend, he's a senior now. He's a very senior. Now he's a program manager. Now he's a product manager. But in his earlier days, he was an Android developer, Android app developer. And I'm talking about like very old days, Eclipse model days, right? Where Android was very new. And he learned Android, and his whole career, now 12, 13 years of his career, are completely in Android only, right? He spent his days. And I asked him one day that, when you're making an app, what is the thought process you have? And he was saying that majority of the times I don't know what I'm doing there, which is actually opposite of what data science is. In data science, you will never be given a task. You will always be given a problem. Like in my previous example, right? I told you that the client didn't know what to do. The client just put up a problem that see, this is the problem, that our trains are not reaching on time. We are wasting some 320 minutes every journey. So please resolve this thing. Data science give you much more control over the solutions, and the learning opportunity for business is very high as compared to software development. So in data science, you're not just taking a blank task and you're just completing it. No, you're solving a real world problem, and you'll see the impact. I can share the numbers also, right? With my with the solution that we did, right, for that company, where where they were now saving some 320 minutes of their time. On an average, right, they saved $13 million in just half year. Just in half year, they saved $13 million in the first phase of implementation, on just one track with 8 stations, out of which only 4 stations were equipped with this particular system. $13 million in just the first 6 months they were able to save. So just now imagine that I know that there was a problem, I solved that problem, and now my client is, let's say, actually having this much of delta differences there. So that's the difference that you have between a software engineering board and your data on board, right? Let's now talk about different words, right? Like, you have heard of data science, you have heard of machine learning. Sorry, you have heard of machine learning, you have heard of deep learning, and you have heard of AI. And you might have seen people are using them in parallel to each other. They Some might say machine learning, some might say something else, and they are using it for the same purposes, right? Which is actually wrong. All the four terms have their own meanings and their own justifications to the world, right? And to pursue them also, you have different tracks, right? A data science study is very different from what you will do for deep learning. That's the point. But they are sequential in nature. It means once you have learned one, it becomes easier to learn the second and then the third, right? So let's talk about it. What is data science? Data science is not something very new that is there, right? It is not something which came in 2010 or 2008, right? No, it is very old, very old, right? From from the days we are doing numbers, from that day we are doing data sciences also. Now, what is data science then? Data science is the art of science that you apply on data to generate insights. To generate insights from the historical data. If you want to generate some insights, that is called as data science. Now, you can also do in your day-to-day life also, right? I mean, let's say if you want to wear something for your, let's say you are going somewhere out and you want to wear a dress, right? You'll go to a previous pattern and you'll say, I just let's say wore this in yesterday's party, or let's say the day before's party. So I'm going to switch and I'm going to wear something else. So what you're doing is, from the historical data, you're trying to generate insights. Like in my first example where I gave, right, the company wants to understand that what is the most profitable product there. So what they're doing is they're taking that data and they're trying to, let's say, do some simple group buys and let's say some pivoting, and they'll try to understand that, okay, this is the most, let's say, profitable product for us, or let's say this is the least profitable product for us, right? So these are the kinds of insights when you generate. You are called as a data analyst, and the term that you use for yourself is data sciences. You're doing data sciences, correct? But people said that insights are not sufficient. Insights are not completely sufficient, right? We want to grow more, we want to grow bigger, right? So then came machine learning. Machine learning said that don't just do, let's say, insights. Why, let's say, you cannot, why if I tell you that you can do predictions also? Now you will say, what? Can you predict? Yes, you can predict the future based on historical data. So data sciences is helping you to understand the insights, but machine learning is helping you to predict the future. Now again, most of you will be like, what? This is crazy, right? You cannot predict the future. If you can predict the future, then why is there so much of, let's say, disparity in the world, right? Actually, there's a difference of how do we perceive the term called as prediction. Now see here, if I ask you a simple question, my friend, that this is, let's say, a graph. Tell me now, will it go up or will it go down after this point? Will it go up or will it go down? Down. Okay. Why? Okay. Three answers. Why are you saying it will go down? Why down? Why do you think it is going to go down? Because from the historical data, you saw that this is what the pattern is. It goes up and then down. It goes up and then down. It goes up and then down. And now it is at the top. It will definitely go down. This is what exactly machine learning also does. Machine learning learns from your historical trends, that whatever you are doing, right? Your historical patterns of data are being seen here, correct? And through which we are generating this particular prediction. That is what is done by machine learning. Now, machine learning can do the thing only majorly on numerical points, right? Wherever your data is numerical in nature, machine learning is very good. It will do all the number crunching for you for predictions. But I told you, right, data is not just numerical in nature. Sometimes you have cognitive data or unstructured data, and where comes your, for cognitive data, your deep learning comes up. Now deep learning is the second part of your this ecosystem. So the third part of the ecosystem, which says that I will also do the prediction for you, but I will be doing this thing on cognitive data like images, videos, speeches, and text. Now you might say that can I not run deep learning on numerical? You can run deep learning on numerical. The major difference lies in the way it approaches. So deep learning says that, see, I am not a mathematical algorithm like machine learning. I am more, let's say, concentrated towards that how human thinks, how a small baby understands the concept of, let's say, cat and dog. So there's a very small kid. How does the kid understands that there is a cat or a dog? This is a car. This is an elephant, right? How do they understand? Kids understand because they are being taught that again and again in the ecosystem. They are being trained. They see this object every day in their life, and people refer to them as that way. So deep learning is nothing but it is trying to mimic how a human brain works, and that is why it is called as neural networks, right? Neural networks. It is very much inspired from how our neuron brain, sorry, neural respiratory, sorry, not respiratory, how our neural system works in the mind, right? That is called as deep learning. If you understand, if I give you a small example, let's say there's a hot cup of, let's say, coffee on this thing, right? And you unintentionally touch that cup, very instantaneously you'll remove the hand from that mug. Why? Because the signals are sent from your finger toes, from your fingertips. From your fingertips, they are being sent through receptors to your brain, and your brain says that no, remove it, is very harmful for you, and then you remove it, right? The same kind of thing happens at deep learning, right? Deep learning, every image, or let's say every video, is shown to the neural network system. The network understands that system, and there is a brain in the center, which is called as the ultimate, the penultimate, let's say, the brain is there, which understands all this information, collects all this information. It maps all these things in the background, and then next time when you ask it whether it is a cat or dog, it can very easily tell you based on the memory it has generated, right? So the major difference between machine learning and deep learning, if I explain to you in a very layman term, is that machine learning is more of like a mathematical algorithm, whereas deep learning is trying to mimic how human works. And majorly, I am again saying, majorly machine learning is for numericals and deep learning is for cognitive data. Now you might think, okay, we have talked about insights, we have talked about predictions, numbers, cognitive. What is AI then? What is AI then? See, AI is nothing but, let's say, a combined product. When you make a product out of something, right? That product which uses, let's say, any kind of a deep learning, or let's say any kind of a machine learning system, or a data science system, or let's say a set of static rules to make it intelligent, right? To make it smart. That product is called as artificially intelligent product, right? It is not necessary that what you have used, it might be a combination of all these things, it might be amalgamation of multiple things. AI is the ultimate product. How many of you use Google Gmail for your data emailing, right? Gmail, if you have used, right? Gmail has this new feature called as Compose, in which you do not have to write the email, right? It auto completes. And if you can see this GIF which I'm playing, right? Wait a second and see now. What is happening is, the moment you start typing, right, Google Compose tries to auto complete you. See, it tries to auto complete. This is AI, because in the background there are multiple machine learning, deep learning, let's say, algorithms which are running in the background, and they're trying to predict this thing for you. So this is an artificially intelligent product, correct? Artificially intelligent product. Does it make sense? Very good, very good, thank you. So now that we have understood data science, machine learning, deep learning, and AI, now the biggest question that is in your mind is that, how do I become a data scientist? How do I become a machine learning? How do I become a deep learning engineer? Or how do I become an artificial intelligence engineer? The answer is again very simple, right? Let's talk about one by one from data science. So data science was more about insights, right? So for insights, you have to deal with data a lot, right? So you need to understand how to talk to data, right? How to load the data when client is giving something. So for that, you have to learn SQL. What is SQL? SQL is a kind of a language, or let's say a kind of a tool from which you can, let's say, talk to these big databases, and you can extract the data from these databases. Whatever data is required for you, you can extract out that data. That is called as SQL, correct? Very good. So the first thing that you need to learn is SQL. Now, once you have got the data, what will you do? You need to crunch the data, you need to modify the data, you need to, let's say, manipulate the data, or you need to crunch. You have to do something with data, right? So for that, you need a data manipulation tool. And for that, you can learn, let's say, multiple languages like Python or R. Now you might say, no, I don't want to learn programming. So you will say that, no, I don't want to learn programming. I want to learn something if there is something called no code architecture, right? No code, where I don't want to write the code. If there is a drag and drop option there, yes, there is a drag and drop option called as Alteryx. right? Okay, mine. These no code platforms are also there, which can help you to, let's say, do the manipulation in the data. And once you have manipulated the data, my friends, the next thing is to represent your data. Now, the problem is that you have learned data science, but your chief procurement officer or your chief financial officer or your chief operating officer, your CEO of the company, CEO of the companies, they don't, or your vice president of the companies, they don't understand data science. So if you will show them your Alteryx workflow or if you will show them your Python code, they cannot understand all these things. So you have to learn how to represent your data, right? How to represent your results. And that can be done through something called as visualizations. You need to learn the art of communicating your results. And for that, you need to make dashboards like Power BI, right? Like Tableau, correct? These are the things there, correct? This is the track for data science. Now for machine learning, now see, you have to learn all these things, whatever you have learned in data science, plus you will need to learn a basic mathematics. Now, when I say basic, I mean the elementary linear algebra mathematics, right? You need to understand what is, let's say, a graph. How do you make, let's say, linear things? Like if I say to you that solve 3x plus 4y is equal to 11 and 6x plus 8y is equal to 22. If I want you to solve these two for me, can you solve it? If yes, then machine learning is the track for you. Other than SQL, Python, R, and visualization, you need to learn the mathematics behind it. And then you need to also learn a little bit of statistics and probability. Because majority of the machine learning algorithms are based on major statistical assumptions and probabilistic theorems over there, right? What if you say, okay, I've learned machine learning also, now I want to learn deep learning. That what do you want to learn? Then I think then you have to make a little bit of advanced mathematics and you have to switch yourself to calculus. Those of you who remember your old days, it is integration, differentiation, right? You need to learn that, and then you need to also learn this artificial neural network architecture, right? How does a brain works? How do we mimic the same thing into a human, into an algorithm, and all those things? That is called as deep learning. So it's more of a sequential path. You grow like slowly, slowly, slowly. You keep on growing, keep on growing. And let's say you want to make a product ultimately. You say that, okay, I've learned now all these things. Or let's say even I've learned data science and machine learning. I want to now make a product. So then you learn, let's say, something called as ML ops and, other things to deploy your, let's say, solutions into market. Correct? You learn how to deploy your solutions. You learn how to integrate your solutions. Let's say if Amazon is already there. Now Amazon, the website is written in Python, sorry, in Java. But let's say your code is in Python. So what will you do now? How will you, let's say, integrate both these codes? You will need to learn how to, let's say, deploy or let's say do inferencing from your machine learning using the other things. Correct? That is called as part of, let's say, I'll write down inferencing inside this thing also. Correct? All these information which I have shared here, my friend, are in this pages also. I can just show it up to you. They are much more nicer. It's just that I love more doing one-on-one interactions rather than doing this, running the pages. But I think this is here that you will see. Why is this not loading up? Oh, it is loading. Sorry. If you see here, this is what exactly we were talking about, right? So this the slides are majorly for data science focused, but yes, if you follow my path, right, it is data science plus machine learning plus AI, but it is again up to you as a personal. I think it is your responsibility to choose which is best and which is not. And I think that is what is the freedom that is given to you by Intellipaat, right? All these courses are now broken down there, and you can see now these courses are there: MS Excel, SQL, data science is R, Python for data sciences, machine learning, statistics, probability. All these things are there, and they're available to you in very modular ways in which you can customize for themselves, right? And all these things are, let's say, available on our websites, and all these things are, let's say, you can contact us anytime at sales@intellipaat.com or support@intellipaat.com. And I think to major, let's say, talk about more on this particular topic, I think I have my friend who's going to explain you more how to take your journey. I think Satish is there. I'll just bring him up and he can guide you more there.
Yeah, hi everyone. Very good evening. I'm Satish. I'm one of the senior mentor with Intellipaat. I hold more than a decade and a year of experience in education consulting as well, and I'm a mentor by profession. So, first of all, I'd like to deliver my sincere thanks to Shivam, okay, for giving such a wonderful and insightful session to all of our valuable participants. It was highly insightful session, Shivam. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And guys, I hope I would be audible to each and everyone over here, right? Am I audible to everyone? Yeah. Am I audible to everyone? All right, great. Thank you. Thanks for your response. Guys, I'm just going to take just 10 minutes of your valuable time in providing you solutions that what Intellipaat can able to offer to all of its learners or to of its inquirers, or if anyone is looking out for a right career transition or into the technology of data analytics, or if there is someone who is looking out for upskilling into the technology of data analytics. All right. So what I request everyone is you can go to our website intellipaat.com. Once you reach our website, you can just scroll down. Yeah, let me before that. Yes. All right. Okay. So I request everyone to go to our site Intellipaat, and you can just scroll down. You can able to see the heading called Data Science and Business Analytics, a category or a division called Data Science and Business Analytics. You can just click on that, and you can see the second course over there, Advanced Certification in Data Analytics for Business. Can you able to see the course? Yeah, I request everyone to open this course. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I hope everyone can able to see my course page. Right. Okay. Fine. So you can able to see the course Advanced Certification in Data Analytics for Business. Right. Okay. And scroll down. Okay. And you can able to see the heading called No Prior Programming Knowledge Required. I hope you can able to see that. Right. No prior programming knowledge required. I hope you can able to see that, correct? So this program doesn't require any programming language, guys, or knowledge or as a prerequisite, as everything is going to be taught to you from the scratch, right? And each and everything is going to be completely practical and experiential learning, and majority of the learners or the participants who are enrolling for this program or who are getting onboarded for this program are non-IT people, precisely, when comparatively to the people from the IT domain, because this program is completely meant for a non-IT professional or a professional from a completely a non-technical background who wanted to expand their professional horizons into the technology of data analytics, right? Okay, and that's what, as the Tech University suggestions, it has been mentioned as no prior programming knowledge required. So before that, deep diving into the offering services and everything, I'd like just to wanted to take you to the program curriculum as well, right? You can able to see the much more comprehensive and the prestigious curriculum, okay, that has been offered. So as I said you before, as this program doesn't demand or require any prerequisites, you can able to see module 1 preparatory sessions, data transformation using MS Excel and Python, correct? So this program will be completely comes with inbuilt Python sessions, okay, where we'll be training you on Python and MS Excel precisely as a module number 1, okay. And second is called as the data wrangling with SQL. So wrangling is nothing but a bit more complicated analysis process. If you would say in a nominal term, it should be a bit more complicated analysis process. How the data analysis is for complicated data is being done. It's what about going to speak in data wrangling with SQL, which is going to be taught you. And you can see the topics: introduction to SQL, database normalization. So as each and every topic is going to be taught to you from the scratch. And Presto is one of the well famous analytics tool which is used in the global market today. And you'll also be learning about statistics and data science. And you can also learn about business problem solving, insights and storytelling, tool as well. And you can also see about optimization techniques. Okay, what are the various optimization techniques that is going to be used in the technology of analytics field. And you can also see about statistics, machine learning using R programming. So machine learning is nothing but an algorithm which is used to predict the outcomes, okay, which you will be learning it to write the machine learning algorithm using R programming over here. And predictive modeling, time series forecasting, and advanced machine learning techniques. It's not only about we deal with the basic machine learning. Okay, we teach you from the basics till the advanced, starting from the things from the scratch, from the basics till the advanced. All right. So it's which is called the advanced machine learning techniques and data science execution strategies as well. You can also see various execution strategies pertaining to the technology of data analysis. Okay, and then you'll also be learning about business case studies as well, and you'll also be learning about visualizing the data using Power BI too. All right, and then you'll also be learning about data science industrial capstone project, which you're going to see. Right. All right. Okay, and this is a much more comprehensive and prestigious program. And as I said before, the name, the program name is not only just offered in collaboration with Center for Continuing Education of IIT Madras. The mentors are also the same. You can also see the mentors from the IIT Madras campus who are going to mentor you and train you on the things from the scratch, make the things, making your learning experience highly going to be, these people are going to make your learning experience highly immersive enough, okay, to meet your career goals. You can see Dr. Arun, Dr. Neerav, Professor Babji, R. Vinodini, who is also a data scientist, and Vinayak, Professor Shankar Narasimhan, who is a professor from IIT Madras, so Suresh, Mr. Muthuswamy Manikantan. So you can also see profiles of data scientists also. So see, only high level academic technical knowledge will not help you to get a job immediately to suffice the industry requirements. You also need to have the right problem solving approach also. That is where this program also comes into the picture for you. So this, if you could see, as a part of this training program, you would be having, okay, 150 plus hours of live instructor led interactive online classroom training, where the classes will be only on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. And adding to it, the program duration is going to be for 7 months, including the interview calls too. All right. And on top of it, if you could see, it involves 400 hours of applied learning, so which involves 150 plus hours of instructor-led online classroom training with a lifetime access to the course materials of 218 hours. Okay. And adding to it, you can also see about numerous hands-on exercises and assignments, which I'll explain to you step by step. So you would be having 150 plus hours of live instructor-led interactive online classroom training only on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. And on top of it, the program duration is going to be for 7 months, as I said before, and lifetime access to the live session recordings would be there for you. And on top of it, you are entitled to get the course materials unlocked step by step in your LMS as per the program curriculum once you complete the corresponding topics in a sequential manner. And next, we are going to talk about the mentorship is going to be 70% practical, which is primarily focused only on the practical aspects, okay, and which with laying a primary focus on the business case studies, where each and every learner is entitled to work on approximately 30 to 40 business case studies with 40 to 50 industrial real-time projects from diverse industries as well. So the business case studies will be from diverse industries like manufacturing, product, service, e-commerce, supply chain, healthcare, retail, media or entertainment industry. And the industrial projects also will be from diverse projects like manufacturing, product, service, e-commerce, supply chain, healthcare, retail, and media or entertainment industry as well. And you'll also be entitled to work on an industrial capstone project as well. This industrial capstone project will be from you'll be provided with the option to choose one industry, so that the tech and IT can go ahead and give you the industrial capstone project, where you can keep on apply the learnings that you have received in the 7 months of time on that industrial capstone project, which will mold you to be an expertise professional into the data analytics technology. All right. Okay. And upon completion of the topics of all the programs, you are entitled to get the certificate from IITM, as mentioned, as what you can see it now with the certificate, unique certificate ID as well. Can I also able to see the certificate number with Center for Continuing Education of Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras. Okay, so this to certify that Hemant Jain has successfully completed the advanced certification in data analytics for business course. Okay, conducted through the Digital Skills Academy. All right. Okay, you can also see the attestation of the corresponding professors and everything, which is more and more genuine and authentic certification as well. And adding to it, yeah, so this is a thing which would be completely sufficing your goals too. All right. And next, other important key informations, you can also receive live lecture from IIT Madras faculty and industry experts. Okay, fine. Yeah. So you'll also be entitled to get a advanced certification from IIT Madras, and you'll also be getting the live lectures from IIT Madras faculties too. All right. And next, yeah, I have a question from one of our participants. Do we have job assistance? Yes, for sure, we have the job assistance. All right. So first of all, what we do is throughout the program, okay, of 7 months, we do offer the intense career mentorship also. What we do is we'll be completely helping you to. We all offer a complete intense career mentorship. Okay, where we do what we do over here is, okay, where the industry experts will be advising you on the right career path that you can focus for the next 10 to 15 years, how you can plan your career for the into the technology of analytics for the 15 years. Okay, what are the geographies that you can look forward to work, what are the companies you can target, okay, how much is the package you can expect. Everything will be given you with a complete detailed career mentorship. And then we'll also be our award-winning job assistance team would also be helping to prepare your resume, understanding each and everyone's background profile, and we'll be helping you to build a complete core professional story too, so that the dots are being connected, so that mentioning your short-term and long-term career goals, which will be sufficing your requirements. And then we help you to build your resume, we help you to build your LinkedIn profile, and then we share you the frequently asked interview questions also. And then we train you on the interview questions, and then we start outsourcing your CV with 500 plus hiring partners globally. Okay, and then we guarantee you, okay, assured 3 interview calls as well, right? Okay, so this is what which is going to be mentioned in this tab of career services. So yeah, I have a question from one of our participants. Only 3 interview calls? No, not at all. Committing you 10 interview calls, and if you get 7 interview calls, it's going to be a fake commitment. So because IT or any industry is also not an industry where through a word of mouth you can able to fetch a job. You need to have justify your profile with the right skill sets and your right problem solving skill sets, as well as the intense hands-on. That is what this program is tailored for also, and that program also carries forward with the global academic credential for each and every learner. Okay, so obviously 3 guaranteed interviews is going to be minimal, but our learners have also got 6 to 7 interview calls as well. And we don't want you to wait till 7 months for you to complete the program and get the interview calls. Our learners will be getting the interview calls once they complete 80% of the program, which is ideally by 5th or 6th month itself. Yeah, so this is a short, sweet, and crisp, and much more curative and tailored program for anyone who are looking forward to upgrade themselves into the technology of data analytics precisely. And each and every learner is entitled to get the exclusive access to Intellipaat job portal as well once they complete 80% of the course. Okay, and interview preparation and profile building which also be carried forward. And on other value-added feature where no one can able to offer except Intellipaat is all about peer learning. Even though we believe our industry experts can help you to reach our career goals, we also believe that fellow batchmates interaction would be enhancing your learning experience also. So you can interact with your fellow batchmates, you can understand what their profile is from, where they are from. Okay, you can see people from diverse nationalities who will be available for you. All right, you can introduce yourself. You can they'll be introducing themselves. Okay, so there are various options for you as well to expand your horizons. You can improvise your professional connections. Okay, and it's completely a collaborative learning which is also incorporated on this valuable mentorship for you, which is called as a peer learning. All right, okay, and yeah, this is all about the program, guys. Yes, guys, any questions, guys? Yeah. All right, okay, fine, guys. Any questions which I wanted to answer it? Please post your questions. I'm more glad to answer it. In terms of any counseling required, any doubts or any clarifications, please do let me know, please. Any questions which you wanted me to address to anyone? Yeah. Okay, let me take you about the program fee. The program fee comes to 85,000 plus taxes, which is going to be, okay, 1,351,000 rupees all inclusive, and the early bird discount of 5,000 rupees available. And I have 6 coupons which is worth 20,000 rupees exclusively only for the webinar participants who are willing to enroll for the program tonight. Only for the webinar participants. Yes. Right, it's exclusively only for the webinar participants as well who can able to decide on it. And if you require any queries or any clarifications, you can always, you're more glad to reach out to me on my contact info. That is my mobile number, my email ID, okay, as well as my WhatsApp number too. You're more glad to reach out to me on my contact info, okay, where I'm more glad to resolve your queries, concerns, and everything. And adding to it, the other most important information, if you could see, is I can also provide you a complete career mentorship also, if you feel that you wanted to get some advice post this call. Okay, so you can always reach out to me, and I'm also posting my contact info on this page as well for you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've posted my contact info also. Yeah, I've mentioned my WhatsApp info, mobile number, and my email ID too, which you can reach out to me if you have any doubts, guys. So any other questions which I wanted to address to you now, which I can able to do it? Yeah. All right. So thank you guys. Thanks a lot for your valuable time. It was highly insightful. It was our pleasure having you. I look forward everyone to be on board yourself as for this program and be an authentic data scientist too. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.